Let's talk about blend surface. So one thing you should know about is when you use a sphere, you have this edge. And one way to figure out where this edge is by going under Analyze, Edge Tools, and Show Edges. There is three options to this tool. One of them shows any edges, and you can also change the color of this edge. In this case, it is pink. So it shows you this is the edge of the sphere by default. If you look at naked edges, you can see that this does not have naked edges. So a naked edges is whenever a solid is open. So if I was to trim a sphere, you would see that this is a naked edge. But if I look at all edges, you can see a naked edge and a solid surface edge. So this is going to be very helpful for the next part that we're working on. So let's say we have this object. Let's undo this. Let's change the scale. And we'll do this very quickly because it's not very useful for you to see me scale objects. Okay, let's copy this and let's go into a blend. So if I wanted to create a blend in between these two surfaces, first of all, let's make it a little more complicated. Let's make this some weird shape and scale it down. Just make it something that looks unique. Okay, so let's say for some reason we want to create a nice transitional surface between these two objects. And maybe scale it 1D. Okay. So we're going to have to create a gap in between the two so that it transitions in between. Now, you can see here you have an edge, and here you have an edge. So this will force a blend surface to begin where the edge is and end where the edge is, which means if I was to rotate this, making a transitional surface at this stage would be very easy because now they line up. If I was to rotate this by 90 degrees, this would be very difficult because now I'm looking at quarters. So I would have to split the object into quarters or create some transitional surfaces, which can be very difficult. So let me show you how you would do this. If I was to make a transitional surface, let's do something a little more complicated. Rotate. I like to type in the rotate command. You don't have to do it this way. What's going on here? Rotate, enter. Okay. Just want to make it a little complicated so that we at least see something that isn't too simple and that you can relate to in your own projects. So let's trim it from the side and let's see what we're looking at. Okay. So here we're looking at one edge and here we are looking at one edge. So if I was to try to make a blend surface, I forgot to press enter. Okay, so if I try to make a blend surface from this edge to this edge, you can see it's not really doing what I want it to do, right? And in fact, it's flipping the whole surface upside down. Another way to visualize this better would be to use the preview. And you can see it's literally flipping the surface upside down because they're just not matching at all. Yeah, this is just not what we want. And if we go backwards, then the surface doesn't even, it doesn't do anything. If I press OK, I get nothing. So keep that in mind, like where the surface is split, you will have a difficult time creating a blend surface. Now, to bypass this issue, what you may be able to do is go from the top and create a cross section, and go from the side and create a cross section. And actually, for this cross section, I think we want it to go a little sideways because we want the transition to go up and down. So you also have to think about how your objects relate to one another. Also this line, if it's not straight, it's not going to be able to split. So if I try using the split command, the object would be this one, the curve that one, and actually it worked this time. So in most cases it will not be able to split because it goes sideways from a top view. The way this works is if you extrude the curve, and let's change the direction, and okay, this is a horrible example, this just doesn't work. But so in some cases, because of the angle of the curve, it doesn't allow you to split it. So you might have to copy the curve and maybe create a loft. You can go under surface, loft, and you can create a planar surface this way. And then of course it has to intersect all the way, so you would have to move it so it overlaps. So this is another way to split an object if your curve is just not able to split the object. It makes it a little easier too, because you can see where the plane intersects with the solid, or in this case with this open surface. So now we have one half, another half, and we have an edge and another edge. The reason why this is not open is because the back is not, it doesn't have an edge, so the edge begins here. You can kind of see that better if you look at the points. If this comes to a single point here. It's a little strange. So the sphere is definitely not the best object to create a blend with, and this is the reason why I'm using it as an example, because it illustrates a bunch of problems that you might run into with other objects later down the line. So it's a very good situation to show you. So if I do the same thing here, you will see this helps a lot, and I will speed up the process because it just takes time to do this this whole workflow. So now if I use a blend surface from here to there, you can see it recognizes the edges. So this would be the first step to create some nice transitional surfaces. As long as the edge match, you will have an easier time creating the blend surfaces. Now, of course, if your curvature between the two surfaces makes no sense, it's still going to create some strange, yeah, this is actually a good example. It could create some very strange blend surfaces because of the way it pulls the surface in and out. And that's up to you to change the options and figure out what works and what doesn't work. Yeah, for now, let's just accept everything as it is. This is just a simple demo, so I don't want to get carried away too much with creating some crazy curvature. But yeah, this might be a way to solve it. Just use tangency everywhere, 1-to-1 on each of the sides, and we should get the results we're looking for. In this case, I selected it in the wrong order, so it gave me a surface that was flipped. So I'm going to delete that. Press Enter to use the blend surface again, and if you select one corner close to an endpoint and the other one close to the other endpoint on the other side, this usually helps creating a blend surface that creates the orientation of the isospans, the isocurves that we want to use for the surface. So if you select it upside down, let's say this corner and that corner, often it will flip it. It will flip the surface upside down. So if this happens, just cancel it and try to select it in a different way. So this is how you solve this type of blend surface. In most cases, the problems are based on the edges. So I would suggest you use this simple process of making sure that the edges match in one way or another. Now, if I join everything, it's a good measure to click on the object and again look at the Analyze Edge tools, show the edges, and quickly have a look at how these edges match. And maybe we want to rotate things around, or maybe we want to move things in a way that makes it easier for the blend surface to do what it's supposed to do. In this case, because it's a demo, I don't really care. This is completely fine. And another thing I would look at is the naked edges. So if you click on naked edges, you can add an object and you can check if there is any openings to your object. In this case, there is no openings. So the blend surface using 1-to-1 created a clean edge that matched from one blend surface to the other. This is not always the case, so you have to sometimes you have to check using the edge analyze. And the last thing I would suggest is after you close the analyze, the edge analyze tool, go under the display mode and change it to rendered just to check on how smooth your result is. And here you can see there's a little bit of a shadow in between, so it's not perfectly smooth. But again, because it's a demo, I think this is completely fine. If you wanted better results, what I would suggest you do is delete your blend surface and do the same process again using curvature. Curvature has a tendency to give you much better results. So if you do this, you definitely would have to change these numbers. So maybe 0.5, 0.5, okay. And if we use the same coordinates here, 0.5, 0.5, hopefully it gives us the same result, and actually it did not. Okay, so if it doesn't give us the same result, another trick to get around this problem would be you do an other side, and this represents the bottom side that we would want on the other side. I mean, clearly you could cut the object in half and mirror it, but let's say this is not symmetrical. So if it was not symmetrical, then maybe you would have to do another side, and then you can use, there's two ways to do this. You can do a sweep to, so surface, sweep to, or you can use the curve network. So let's use the curve network. Select all of your edges. The order does not matter. Just select the four sides, press enter, and then you can force everything to be tangent, or you can force everything to be curvature. And if we look at the preview, we can see it gives us pretty good results. Sometimes it's better to have B and D tangent. It simplifies things for the software and gives us really good results. So let's use it this way, and let's just keep it like this for now. You do not have to do this. I'm just showing you that you can get something better than tangency by just you know, changing some of these settings and adjusting the quality of your surface depending on the results that you're looking for. And of course, if you wanted to, you can also delete this and do another blend surface in between. Right? You can go back here. We know that this was already curvature to begin with, so we can make this you know, a curve network surface. But let's not do that. I mean, tangency was fine. This is a little better. So for now, for this quick demo, I think this should give you a better idea of how to clean up transitional surfaces, especially when the blend surface is not acting the way you want it to. And as you saw before, the trick to it is really to create some nice edges. And with clean edges, you should be able to get cleaner results. So yeah, I hope this was a helpful video and that you learned something from this simple workflow.